The Dodgers snap their 3-game losing streak. They come back to beat the Pirates, their 10th comeback win of the season. They pick up a game on the San Diego Padres, who lose tonight. Andy Pages has heated up. Shohei Ohtani is heating up. This Dodgers offense finally scores the runs they needed to, and Roki Sasaki is continuing to improve. Also, we got an update on Tony Gonsolin. That's coming up next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Tommy Tank strikes again, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Gibby, meet Freddie. Tommy sets on the air, the other way, back it goes, gone! One-of-a-kind player, one-of-a-kind season.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us. After the Dodgers snapped their 3-game losing streak, they beat the Pittsburgh Pirates by a final score of 8-4. They improved to 17-10 on pace for 110 wins, and they pick up a game on the San Diego Padres, and they're now right behind the San Francisco Giants, tied with the San Diego Padres at 17-10, a half game behind the San Francisco Giants. And what a win for Los Angeles Dodgers. They had scored 4 runs in the first 16 innings of this series, and then late they explode. They bat around there in the 8th inning, putting up 4 runs in the 8th, and Teoscar Hernandez comes up clutch once again. Teoscar Hernandez was massive for the Dodgers tonight. He's been great all season with runners in scoring position, hitting .417 in those situations. Tonight goes 2 for 5. Also made a really nice throw, defensive play to help Roki Sasaki out. But it was a big night for the Dodgers, a night that they needed against a Pirates team that has a good bullpen, and the Dodgers were able to score 4 runs off it. It had a lead in this game, and it was going back and forth, and it looked like, oh no, the Dodgers, they're going to fall short again, but they come up big. Andy Pages, he had another monster night, going 3 for 4, and defensively made another great play to help Roki Sasaki out. We'll talk about that, but he turns into prime Ken Griffey Jr. in the outfield whenever Roki Sasaki is on the mound. But let me know down below in the comment section, what were your big takeaways from tonight's game? If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, drop those comments down below. I'm going to read them throughout the show here. But what a night, man. It's good. It's good to finally get on the winning side. It's good to win a baseball game. We've got BC Pages on fire. We got Steel Yo Chill, DMAC _LA baby. What up, Still Yo Chill? Rock with us, Ray Soto, Jose Valdez, Kenny Chung, Craig Osterberg. Got the regulars filing in. Aaron M. Daniel says, thank you. We got a 199 super chat. Thank you, DMAC. Love when Hernandez bros go yard. And they certainly did that tonight. It was the Hernandez bros going yard, and they were massive in this one. And it really was Teoscar Hernandez coming up there in the later stages of the game, 8th inning, and breaking that tie. But, of course, we got to start from the very top. We're going to get to the big home runs at the end. We got full highlights, full breakdown, players of the game, Dodgers dog of the game. But this wasn't just, okay, you beat a Pirates team that, last place-ish team. This was, okay, you beat a Pirates team, and the players that you're a little worried about as far as slumping-wise have turned it around. And you got guys like Shohei Ohtani, a big night. Max Muncy, better at-bats. The home run is still not there for him. The slug isn't there, but a little better of a night for him. Kike Hernandez comes through. But let's get into the breakdown, and let's start all the way in the first inning. What a great baseball game. What a great baseball game tonight at Chavez Ravine. You had hits, 11 by the Dodgers, 8 by the Pirates. But it was also a game where the pitchers were executing. And right there in the first inning, you probably hadn't taken a sip of your Michelada, of your Modelo, a bite of your Dodger dog, and the Dodgers were down a run early after the first pitch of the game. O'Neal Cruz goes deep on Roki Sasaki to put the Pirates up 1-0.
First pitch swinging. Out to center and deep, and it gets out of here! Oneil Cruz on the first pitch of the game!
So first pitch of the game, he does go yard. It really wasn't the worst pitch. It really was not. I mean, you're talking about 97 miles per hour, an inch off the plate, up out of the zone. You got to tip your cap to Oneil Cruz going out there and getting it. What I liked about this, and you have to know this about Roki Sasaki. Yes, you want to see him walk less hitters. Yes, you want to see the command get better. Yes, you want to see the triple-digit velocity. I mean, tonight, he ends up going 12 for 24 on first pitch strikes, and that leads to getting behind counts, leading to more walks. But I like the fact that he didn't get flustered, and you're putting him into these situations where he can bounce back, and he certainly did that tonight. I mean, after the home run to Cruz, goes in order after that, gives it the one run on the one hit, and then bottom of the first inning, the Dodgers offense picks up Roki right away. First at bat of the game for Shohei Ohtani. He had been struggling of late. Shohei Ohtani hitting around 200. Of course, he just became a dad. I'm sure the sleep isn't great. I'm sure that you're settling into dad strength Shohei Ohtani, and he looked locked in early on. He gets a double to start things off for the Dodgers.
Stuff.
Yeah, Ohtani pulls it to right center field. This one's going to get down in the gap and trickle all the way to the wall. And so Shohei Ohtani breaks through.
So that was very, very promising because he sets a table, man. I mean, he is the glue, right? He is the force. He is the best player in the universe when he's 100% healthy and he's pitching like a top 5 to 10 pitcher and hitting like a 1 to 3 player, right? But getting him on early, I think, set the tone, and having him get a big base hit like that, and you saw a couple batters later, even Mookie Betts, who has been struggling of late, going through his own slump, he lines to center. That advanced Shohei to third, and then Teoscar Hernandez, he steps right up to the plate, gets into a 1-2, and then he doubles to put the Dodgers on top early.
Takes it to the opposite field. This ball will get down and tie the game.
Shohei Ohtani gets to the plate easily. Teoscar Hernandez, another clutch base hit with 2 strikes. Great 2-strike, hitting at a 4-seam fastball on the outer half, and he just goes with it, doesn't try to do too much, gets the barrel of the bat out there, makes contact, and they get what they needed to, and that was to tie things up. And then the very next batter, you got Tommy Edman at the plate. And yes, this wasn't a home run, a double, a single, anything like that, but the Dodgers take full advantage of an error. You got an error there at first base, and they get another run. The Dodgers played another one. They go up 2-1. It shows you the value of putting the ball in play. When you put the ball in play, good things happen, and that's what we saw in that situation, is you're taking advantage of a guy that can put the ball in play. Contact is king, like my friend Jerry Harrison Jr. always likes to say, and you're getting momentum. You get the lead. It's a 2-1 game, and the Dodgers are cooking with the sticks early on. 2 runs on 2 hits after the first inning. And then Roki Sasaki did settle down. He worked himself around traffic. Second inning, he walked Bart. Then he gave up a single to Hayes, but then he got Frazier to ground to the fielder's choice at short, and they get Hayes out at second. So he did a really nice job because in FAM, he flied into that double play, and it was a great throw by Teoscar Hernandez. So Teo doing it on both sides with the glove, with the stick, and this was huge because every batter that you can limit with Roki Sasaki on the mound, every pitch, every at-bat you can take away, it lengthens his start, and it gives him more confidence. It takes the stress off the Dodgers' pen, and this was just a great throw by Teoscar Hernandez.
Trying to keep the Dodgers in front 2-1 in the second. Fly ball right field, charging is Teoscar. He makes the catch on the run. Bart's tagging. He's coming home. Play at the play. They got him!
And Bart kind of hesitated there, but look, we've seen Teoscar a couple times this season where you want to see him be a little more aggressive when it comes to charging the baseball. And in this situation, it looked like something that they had gone over where, hey, if you're going to be decisive, if you know the situation, runners on the corners with 1 out, you want to charge it, make the play, and make the throw at home. And it was a great throw. It was a great tag by Will Smith, and that's when this team's at their best. It's when you are getting singles, but you're also getting home runs. When you are taking your walks, when you're getting the pitch count up, when you're playing really good defense. It's all facets of the game. And right now, it's some games where, okay, you see some slugging, but bad defense. Oh, you see some walks, but you see strikeouts. Well, this felt like one of the more complete games. Roy Estrada says, D-Mac, your boy Pajes is looking good at the plate. Your boy Conforto, different story. All-star out of reach, but all-state within reach. Okay, hey, yeah, I mean, yeah, we talked to Conforto yesterday, and look, he's trying to get right. And we'll talk about him in a little bit, but Andy Pajes definitely was a story tonight. Bottom of the second inning, after a Muncie walk, he doubled to center. The Dodgers weren't able to capitalize, but it kind of showed you a preview of what you're going to get from Andy Pajes. And then you go to top of the third inning, Roki Sasaki back out there. He got Cruz swinging, splitter down and away, and you got the ability to go out there and get big league hitters out and embarrass them. I mean, just kind of look at some of these pitches here. I mean, look at the Cruz strikeout. Oh,
swing and a miss.
In the dirt.
Down to about 13 pitches.
Just look at the whip. Look at the downward tilt.
Transition from short back to the outfield.
Look at that late break.
Yes, he did.
86. I mean, throwing the fork, throwing the slider. I mean, you're seeing the flashes and you're seeing the incremental growth. Look, progress is not linear for young players. And they understand Roki Sasaki is a long-term project. He's not someone, okay, we're doing my homework the day of and let's turn in hope. No, this is a long-term project that they're working on with him, and you're seeing a step in the right direction tonight. And then top of the fourth, you saw more nasty stuff, that splitter getting Valdez swinging. He was really, really good during certain stretches. And then the top of the fifth inning, that's where he kind of fought through some adversity once again. He gave the lead-up single to Frazier, let the four-seam fastball a little out of the plate. Then Tommy Pham let that splitter up. He doubled to center. Then he got IKF. Kiner Falefa, he struck him out swinging with the splitter down the zone. So we saw today, he didn't have to go to that slider as much as we saw him do in his start against the Rangers. And some of these starts where, hey, if I don't have the splitter, if I don't have the fork, I'll go to the slider. Let's not kid ourselves. He's at his best when that fork is working for him, and he had that in his bag tonight, and that is going to be the best version of Roki Sasaki, when he can go to that, and he was doing that. So it's something that he has. And when he does, he can embarrass hitters. We saw that. Then next batter, O'Neal Cruz. He had runners on second and third, and O'Neal Cruz just kind of had his way with Roki tonight. A 1-1 count. He let the splitter a little up, and then Cruz, not that bad of a pitch, kind of close to the corners here, but he singled to right. That scored another 2 runs for the Pirates. Frazier scored, Pham scored, and then the Pirates, they go back on top 3-2. But then, bottom of the fifth inning, the Dodgers offense, they came back. So we've seen a lot of times where the Dodgers lose the lead of late, and then you're not seeing quick responses by the offense. That was not the case tonight, because Shohei Ohtani, bottom of the fifth, Shohei Ohtani said, we're not losing tonight, okay? We're not having a 4-game losing streak. I don't care if I'm sleeping 3-4 hours a night because I got a new baby or whatever it may be. He made sure the Dodgers went out and got that win, because then in the bottom half of that inning, Shohei Ohtani, he goes out there and he triples, and just look at this at-bat for Shohei Ohtani. On the triple, it's a 3-2 count, stays back on that changeup, drives it to right field, and shows that Ohtani speed to get all the way to third base.
From Keller. That's a hit down to the right field corner. Ohtani's going to have extra bases for a second time tonight. Does he want 3? Yes, he does. Relay. There won't be one.
All the way to 3B for Shohei Ohtani. And then a couple batters later, Freddie Freeman, 2 outs, 1-1 count. Freddie Freeman, Fredericks of Hollywood, doing what he does best. That is come up clutch in big situations. He singled to right. That scored Shohei from third. That tied things up at 3. The Dodgers get 1 run on 2 hits there in the bottom of the 5th inning. And then Roki Sasaki back out there pitching into the 6th. Now, Roki said something that really stood out to me recently, where he said that at minimum, he wants to go 5 innings. And if he goes 5 innings, he can really help this team. And that is his goal. I want to go 5 innings. That's how I'm going to help this team win. He did that tonight. We also went back out there to pitch the 6th. And he was hanging in there. Almost got that 3rd out. He got Valdez to ground to first. He struck out Bart with a nasty splitter, bounced it right down in the zone. And then he hit Hayes with a pitch. He lost him, had 2 strikes on him. Then he just didn't have the grip on the splitter. It happens sometimes. And that is how his night ended. After that, Jack Dreyer comes in, and want to give a lot of credit to Jack Dreyer in this Dodgers bullpen coming in situations tonight and getting the job done. He strikes out Frazier. That ends the threat, and we are all still tied at 3. And then in the 7th inning, Jack Dreyer still out there. Pham reached on an infield single. Not a terrible pitch, slider bottom of the zone. Then IKF, he singled to right. And I think with Jack Dreyer, something to kind of take away from his appearances of late is he's been really good at getting the 2 strikes. It's just finishing the job and leaving that slider a little out over the plate. You got to execute that pitch on the corners, try to make a miss, especially when you're ahead in the count, maybe a little off the plate. Against IKF, that slider was really right out over the plate, and IKF, he took full advantage. And then he walked Cruz. So we've seen some command issues too. You got to be confident with your stuff. You got to attack the zone. And I think with Jack Dreyer, when the innings have gotten away with him, he starts to nibble a little bit and is not as confident in just attacking the zone and doing what's made him successful, doing what's made him the Maytag this season, Jack Dreyer. And then next batter, Ryan Reynolds. He's at the plate, a 7-pitch at bat, a 2-2 count, and he grounds into a fielder's choice to first. That scored Tommy Pham. They get Cruz out at second, and then IKF, he gets to third. That puts the Pirates up 4-3. And then Evan Phillips comes in for Jack Dreyer, and this was one of the big sequences of the game. If you're looking at the winning plays of this game, you can talk about the offense, but how about Honey Bun? How about Fireman Phillips battling with Andrew McCutchen, a 9-pitch at bat, and then the 9th pitch, he throws a nastier than a gas station bathroom sweeper that strikes out McCutchen with runners on the corners. And then he comes back after Reynolds stole second to get Valdez to ground to first. So the Dodgers pen limiting the damage. They hold the Pirates there to 1 run on 2 hits in the 7th inning. It's a 4-3 game at that point. And then bottom of the 7th, old friend Caleb Ferguson. How about Fergie Ferg? He had his ups and downs with the Dodgers. Andy Pages, he gets a 1-out single to right, starting the rally. And then Shohei Ohtani, 0-2 count, fastball. He has been kind of pulling out on fastballs, kind of just getting that shoulder a little too out, but he stays back, hits that 4-seam fastball to center field, and that's the best version of Shohei. When he's using all fields, when he's going gap to gap, and we saw that tonight. We saw the hard contact, but it didn't look like someone out there at the plate trying to hit home runs, trying just to slug. He's so talented. He hits the ball so hard consistently that if that barrel hits the ball, it's going to lead to extra base hits. And we saw that tonight. Using that 4-seam fastball, going to center field the way he did, well, a massive at-bat. That scored Andy Pages to tie things up. So Shohei, sometimes I've seen people out there, Shohei Ohtani gets empty statistics, this and that. No, he does not, okay? His hits usually lead to wins for the Dodgers. When he has success, this team has success, and it leads to W's. And that was a great clutch at bat. That scored Andy Pages all the way from first, and just like that, it's a 4-4 game. And then this is the play we would have been talking about if the Dodgers lost tonight. Because after that, Ohtani steals third, did a great job getting his foot in there, a really great job. And then Mookie Betts, he draws a walk. And the next batter, Freddie Freeman, he grounds into a double play, goes to first, and they get Mookie Betts going to second. So on that play, Shohei Ohtani's got to be coming home. And then Mookie Betts, if he's held up in a run down there and Shohei scores, well, then the Dodgers, they're going to get their run. So Shohei's got to be aggressive on that play. He's got to be coming towards home plate, and that's kind of just an execution thing. And for a team like the Dodgers, where well over 50% of their runs come via that home run ball, well, hey, sometimes I think you're not in those situations as much as other teams. I think that's kind of the byproduct there. But I can't complain too much tonight. I mean, defensively, the throw, that tag to get Joey Bart the way they did, and you saw Bart like F, he let out a big F after, you know what I mean? I guess he was really frustrated by that. So to see them go out there, defensively do it, you can kind of forgive them for one execution error just because of what they were able to do. Then Kirby Yates, I would say my one gripe with Kirby Yates lately is we want to see more clean innings. And he comes in to pitch the top of the eighth in a 4-4 game, gives up the one-out double to Hayes. On that one, the splitter didn't split as much. He gets the double. Then they got Frazier to ground to short. Hayes at third base with the go-ahead run at third base with 2 outs. Then he walks Pham, but he bounces back. He strikes out IKF with a splitter. But you want to see some more clean innings. You want to limit those walks. The four-seam fastball command, he kind of is missing arm side right now up in the zone. So that definitely is a little bit of a concern there. But, hey, all in all, he has performed well. And then bottom of the eighth, the Dodgers offense, they showed up. It was like that meme where the Undertaker is in the coffin and all of a sudden the coffin opens up and the Undertaker's right there. That was the Dodgers offense. The Undertaker is alive. And it all started with Teoscar Hernandez. 4-4 game. Holderman on to pitch for the Pirates, a guy with the ERA over 9. And Teoscar Hernandez, he sees a cutter and it's hanging up in the zone, and he crushes it out. His 7th home run of the season. That puts the Dodgers ahead 5-4.
Teo time, deep left field, and way gone!
Teoscar Hernandez putting the Dodgers on top, and then the offense, hey, they were absolutely raking. Tommy Edman, next batter, he doubles. Will Smith draws a walk. Kike was in to hit for Michael Conforto. So how about this? Dave Roberts on his bobblehead night. A nice move by Dave to elect to go at Kike Hernandez, who heading into this at-bat, it had been a really down couple of weeks for Kike Hernandez. We know that he's had some slug, and the majority of his hits have been home runs. Heading into this at-bat, he was hitting 130, but of course, when it's Kike Hernandez, you throw the numbers out because you know that there's always a chance that something special can happen, and that's what happened again. Kike Hernandez at the plate. It's a 5-4 game. You got a couple runners on base, and Kike, he launches a bomb. That puts the Dodgers up 8-4 and really put this one out of reach.
Runners go. Kike hammers the ball. Left field and deep. Another Hernandez. Another homer.
So both Hernandez's crush a bomb kind of gave me flashbacks of the NLDS, except this happened in one inning, and the Dodgers were able to bat around. Muncy put together a really nice at-bat. Pages got another hit after that, and Freeman was able to walk. Then Teoscar, he finished up the inning with the bases loaded. He flied out to right, but the Dodgers get 4 runs on 4 hits. They took an 8-4 lead, and then top of the ninth, Tanner Scott in the pitch. Really nice job attacking O'Neal Cruz. Struck him out, 96 up in the zone. Struck out Reynolds, a looking slider down the zone, and they got McCutchen to fly to right to give the Dodgers the win. Cue the Randy Newman. I love L.A., but how about Andy Pages tonight? Last 4 games for Andy Pages. 9 for his last 15. 2 home runs, 3 doubles, 4 runs, and a stolen base. But tonight, what impressed me the most was the rob job for Andy Pages. I'm telling you, when Roki Sasaki owes Andy Pages like 3 really, really nice high-quality balls of Sasaki at this point, because we know that's what he gave Miguel Rojas to get his number 11. he has to give him some nice bottles of sake because he has really saved him in some of his starts. Check out this Rob job as the defensive play of the night. The web gem, the Dodgers D defensive play of the night from Andy Pages.
Trying to keep the Dodgers in front 2-1 in the second. Fly ball right.
Well, that's actually the Teo one, but I'll cue that one. I'll give you 1 second here.
Trying to keep the Dodgers in front 2-1 in the second.
Whoops. I'll find it right quick. But, yeah, Andy Pages just really, really has turned things around. It's great to see that. And you just kind of, it's a reminder. It really is a reminder that these guys are young. And you don't see a lot of homegrown talent out of the position player side from the Dodgers of late. So to have someone like Andy Pages kind of get those opportunities to say, oh, maybe I can be a farmhand that finds a role for this team, that's definitely something that I think is going to help sustainable winning. That's going to help this team not fall off a cliff and contend, right? Because you can't pay every player $200, $300, $400 million. That's just not how this thing works. So to have someone like Andy Pages have some success, that definitely is a major bright spot tonight. You look at Andy Pages' numbers now on the season. Andy Pages is now a 121 weighted runs created plus. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's going to play. And defensively, he gets help from I think just being around this team as long as he can and just trying to absorb and learn and trying to play a position that really he's not built for center field. He kind of takes some interesting routes. Just talking to some of the scouts, they tell me like, hey, it is like a knuckleball coming to you. It's like trying to catch a knuckleball playing center field sometimes at the big league level and trying to make those reads and get on those routes. So through experience, he's going to get better. We know he has an elite arm. But here's the thing. Andy Pages, you would think that he was awful. You would think that he was the worst player in Major League Baseball, the way that some of these fans have talked about him this season. The truth is, Andy Pages is getting paid $700,000 a year, which in real people money, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of money in real people money for sure. I mean, you can definitely afford the guacamole on your Chipotle when you're making $700K plus a year, but compared to Conforto getting $17 million and guys getting millions, that production that he's giving them is massive. So that's my first big takeaway tonight is if Andy Pages is going to hit at this level, that's going to change what they're going to do in the outfield, and it might not mean what they do in center field. And when I say that is Michael Conforto has continued to struggle. Tonight, he got the start, but Michael Conforto did struggle once again tonight. Conforto, he ends up going 0 for 3 with the strikeout. Kike comes in to hit for him, and he hits the home run. And now Michael Conforto, I mean, it's not awful. I mean, a couple good weeks like Pages has had, if Conforto has that, he'll be right back to being a productive player. But if he does struggle for a long stretch, I think the move could be Andy Pages in one of the corner spots. And we know Teos in right, but it could be Andy Pages in left, and then center field. That, I think, is where you could be flexible. With Tommy Edman, you can bring up Kim. You can kind of see what happens with some of the bench guys. I'm talking about later in the year. So just kind of want to sneak that in there, kind of let you think about that. But I think that could possibly be the move. You could have Andy Pages' bat in the corner outfield spot and then still free up center if you want to upgrade that position. But let's step into the box and look at the box score tonight. Let's check out the position player side. Shohei Ohtani goes 3 for 5 with an RBI, a strikeout. A much better night for Shohei Ohtani. Stand back on the ball, not letting that front shoulder pull out. Hard contact. The head just following and tracking the ball the way he was seeing it tonight was better than we've seen. You didn't see as much flailing or anything like that. So very encouraged to see what Shohei did tonight. Mookie goes 0 for 4 with the strikeout. Mookie has definitely been in a slump of late. That's a trend we want to see reversed. Is him playing shortstop taking his toll on his offense? I'm going to try to ask him or Dave Roberts that on Monday because, look, I've heard from big league shortstops that it certainly does. Freddie goes 1 for 4. And Freddie, after kind of the offensive explosion that we saw later, you're probably not going to talk about Freddie Freeman's hit tonight, but let's not forget that Freddie's single in the bottom of the 5th, it scored Ohtani to tie things back up at 3. Teo, he goes 2 for 5, gets the big home run late to put the Dodgers on top, made the big throw to get Bart out. So he definitely is you know what I'm talking about. He's the Dodgers dog of the game. I'm going Dodgers dog of the game for Teoscar Hernandez. He was big tonight. Who's your Dodgers dog of the game? But he is my Dodgers dog of the game. Teoscar Hernandez.
Dodger dog of the game.
And you go back to the box score. You got Tommy Edman. He goes 1 for 4. Will Smith 0 for 3 with the walk. Conforto 0 for 3 with the strikeout. Kike 1 for 1, 3 RBIs. Another bomb for Kike Hernandez. The thing about Kike that you want to see more of is, hey, he's as boom or bust as really any player on the Dodgers right now. When you look at the year he's had, he now has 5 home runs on the season. 5 home runs on the season and 8 hits. 5 of his 8 hits are home runs. So you like the slug, but you want to see a couple more singles and doubles mixed in there. Max Muncy goes 0 for 2, had 2 walks. Andy Pons goes 3 for 4. So, yeah, I know a lot of you guys want to talk about Max Muncy. What'd you guys think of his night? Are you a little more encouraged? I mean, he did draw the 2 walks. I will say that at bat in the second tonight, the at bat in the second was one of the best at bats I've seen from him to draw a walk this year. He goes behind the count 0-2, and then he works a 10-pitch walk. And he fought off some really tough pitches, some sweepers down in the zone, down and in. He fought off a sinker up in the zone. So it looks like he's seeing it better. You just want to see more contact from Max Muncy. And look, hey, all I'm going to say is, look, you want him. Dave Roberts said before the game that Max Muncy has gone through these longer stretches where he struggled. But if I was sitting there, I would have said, wait a minute, Dave, the only difference is when we see Max Muncy go through these struggles, usually there's a home run mixed into there. Usually there's a deep fly or 2 that justifies the struggles at the plate. And right now, he's hitting 167, a 55 weighted runs created plus, so that means that he's been 45% below league average offensively. So it's still early. 92 plate appearances. His longest home run drought of his career, the previous long was 79. But, yeah, I think with Max Muncy, I mean, 4 RBIs on the year. 4 RBIs, 5 doubles. By the way, did you guys see who hit a walk-off tonight? For the Nolan Arenado crowd that keeps trying to push that, Nolan Arenado hit a walk-off home run for the Cardinals. By the way, I thought you guys told me he was washed. And his bat was cooked. I tried to tell you that he was going to have a bounce back here. I'm just saying. But let's get into some comments here. Give me all your takes on tonight's action. We got Bilal K. Conforto is not a Dodger. He has an attitude that couldn't care any about his at-bat results. We've got, thank God the Dodgers won on Dave Roberts' bobblehead night. We've got Aaron M. Took care of those numbers. We can expect everyone to produce every game. 80 parts, we can't expect everyone to produce for every game. Yeah, absolutely 100%. You just can't. And that is really, really something that you have to remind yourself is not everyone's going to be hot all at the same time. Not everyone's going to be cold all at the same time. But you do want to limit those cold stretches. And look, just right now, even though that's true, it's guys have been too cold for too long. Muncy's been too cold for too long. Conforto's been too cold for too long. Shohei Ohtani, I think, look, first kid coming back off labrum surgery, I'll give him a pass. I'll give him a pass because his version of bad is like being the poorest billionaire, right? being the poorest billionaire, right? His version of slumping is different than other guys' version of slumping. I think heading into today, Shohei, by his standards, wasn't putting up great numbers. Really, his longest kind of downward time as a Dodger. But now, after tonight, the 3 hits, he's back up to a 145 weighted runs created plus, 6 home runs, 3 doubles, 2 triples on the season. And I think that Andy Pages is going to be instrumental for Shohei Ohtani if he continues to hit like that, get on base. I think not only did Andy Pages put up nice numbers tonight, but the bottom of the 7th is more of what I want to see, where Andy Pages hits the 1-out single, Shohei Ohtani gets the double, and then Pages has the speed to come around and score all the way from first base. I think people don't realize this about Andy Pages is he has a lot of tools. Dude's got tools, man. Dude's got tools. And one of them is his ability to slug. Another one is his arm, but also he's in the 79th percentile in sprint speed. He's in the 79th percentile in sprint speed. He's one of the fastest Dodgers on the team. He's just 24 years old. So let me tell you that about Andy Pages. The guy, he's got some wheels, man. He definitely has some wheels. So, hey, like I said, I didn't sell out on Andy Pages like a lot of people did. You got to get these guys patient. I think the interesting thing about Andy Pages, too, is that when he came up last year, he went from hot to cold. This year, went from cold to hot. That is definitely a major, major sign and an indicator of success for big leaguers. When you can start cold and get hot, that tells you something. Because when you're hot, when no one's seen you, when no one's adjusted to you, when no one's watched a lot of tape on you, that's one thing, right? Because big league teams are always going to adjust, but this is a sign of him adjusting to pitchers, and teams have adjusted to him, so he's adjusted back. So I got to feel really, really good about that if I am Andy Pages and the Dodgers. So a couple updates here. Last night, I was in the Dodgers clubhouse, and we saw that Tony Gonsolin was there. Tony Gonsolin comes out. The Catman's in the building. His locker all set up. And then today, Dave Roberts mentioned that Tony Gonsolin could be in line to start during the Miami Marlins series. I believe it's going to be the Wednesday start. It was when you're going to see Tony Gonsolin. So Tony Gonsolin is ready to come back. So that definitely is going to help stabilize this rotation. You need it. I'm excited to see what he can do. He's pitched well down in AAA. The velocity's been consistent. The splitter has played. He's got a lot of swing and miss on that split change. But another big takeaway that I want to get into is let's talk some Roki Sasaki. We'll throw out my Roki grade for tonight. Roki Sasaki, a look at his line. He goes 5 2/3 innings, gives up 3 runs on 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 93 pitches. I like the fact that he came out, pitched into the 6th inning, almost went 6, gave the home run to O'Neal Cruz, got himself out of some jams. I'm going to give Roki Sasaki tonight, I'm going to give him a solid B. A solid B for Roki Sasaki. Drop your Roki Sasaki grade and give me your takeaway on how you thought he did tonight. Because I was really impressed with the composure now that we're seeing with him, right? I mean, we saw like Bobby Miller, for example, when he's got those opportunities, when things start to snowball and the wheels fall off, the innings can get ugly. But when you're a young pitcher, one of the big things that stunts your development is when you can't handle adversity. That leads to you getting out of the game. That leads to Dave Roberts walking out and taking the ball from you. And when you're not on the mound, you're getting less experience, right? So that is what really prevents young pitchers from getting to the next level, is just opportunities. And by being able to work himself out of those jams and pitch through adversity, that's why you're seeing progress with him. First inning, O'Neal Cruz hit the home run. A lot of guys, hey, you're shell-shocked. You got knocked out in the first round, but no, not him. Came right back, goes 1, 2, 3 after that, was still trusting the fastball in the zone, worked some sliders in there, got a slider looking to Valdez. And then the other inning where he gave up some runs, leadoff hit to gave a couple hits to start things off, the leadoff single and the double by Pham, but then he was able to bounce back and get some soft contacts. Another thing, too, I mean, I like the fact that with Roki Sasaki, he doesn't need to strike you out to go out there and eat innings and be effective. And I think that's something that we've seen so far this year is, yeah, it's great when he can embarrass you with that splitter. But I like the fact that you did see him get fly ball outs. You saw him get ground ball outs, all with that well-located four-seam fastball at the bottom of the zone. So that tells me he's trusting his stuff. Tonight, you look at Roki Sasaki's pitch mix. He threw the four-seam fastball 42 times, the splitty 29, the slider 22 times. He topped out at 97.7 miles per hour. He averaged 96.1 on the velocity. So the velocity was down just a tick on his yearly average, but it was up from his last start. And I can tell you that the reason why the velocity is down is because he's sacrificing some velo to stay in the zone, to throw more strikes. And that was evidenced once again tonight. If he wanted to throw triple digits and let it fly, he could, but he is already, hey, I'm more pitcher than thrower, and he's still 23 years old. So I was impressed by Roki Sasaki's outing. I really was. But let's get your grades. I'm going with the B. What is your biggest takeaway from Roki Sasaki? I mean, I'm still seeing Roki of the Year from him. George says, I want to see 101 mile per hour Roki. We all do. Trust me. Trust me. We all do. Right? We all do. Right? When you want to see that. Right? Absolutely, right? If you see Shawn Michaels, you want to see Sweet Chin Music, right? If you see Stone Cold Steve Austin, you want to see the Stone Cold Stunner, right? If you see Michael Jackson, you probably want to see the Moonwalk. You guys kind of catch my drift on that one, right? And I think that is something that in time we are going to see. The adrenaline's going to be up in the postseason. The command is going to be more confident. So I absolutely think that we're going to see that. Eric Flores says Muncy is still buffering. I like the way you put that. He's still buffering. Hey, I'm hoping that this is just his longest slump. I mean, 3 true outcome guys. Sometimes it can be tough. Can be tough for those guys. But, yeah, I like that. He's buffering. So, hey, the good thing is if you're buffering, you can go out there and unplug the router, unplug the Wi-Fi, kind of reboot. Right? I mean, let's unplug him and plug him back in, right? Blowing the cartridge a little bit, right? And, yeah, absolutely. We got the entire bench is dead. Wait, not just Muncy. Yeah, I mean, look, that's definitely – there's really no one out on the bench. But, I mean, here's the thing. You can say that, but, like, a guy came off the bench tonight and delivered the knockout blow at Teoscar Hernandez. So, I mean, yeah, for the most part, you're absolutely right. The bench hasn't provided very much. But tonight was a different story. But, yeah, I mean, look, Chris Taylor has been not very productive, hasn't got that many at-bats, hasn't got that many opportunities for sure. But you're absolutely right in saying that. But I think that this bench is going to be very different towards the end of the year. Like Dalton Rushing, if he hits like he's hitting, how do you leave him off the postseason roster, even if it's to come off the bench, if the current guys in your lineup aren't producing? And we even saw a couple years ago. I mean, we go out there and get Joey Gallo. Obviously, he wasn't a massive game changer or anything like that. But even when they have had good years leading into the trade deadline, they've tried to bolster the bench. So I wouldn't be totally shocked to see them do that. In fact, I would expect them to do that if they're not producing. We get why doesn't he just throw velo in the zone? Eric Flores. I mean, look. I mean, if Clayton Kershaw threw what Roki threw tonight, you'd think he's Randy Johnson, right? I mean, he's 97.7 miles per hour. 97.7 miles per hour is still an above-average heater. I mean, you look at the velocity, he's in the 84th percentile in fastball velo. So it's not like he's out there throwing slow fastballs, right? I mean, it's not like he's like one of those guys that's like throwing 89, right? It's not like he's someone that's just throwing lollipops out there, right? That's just not what's the case here. That's just not the case here. I mean, he's not out there doing that. And, yeah, I mean, we're going to see it. That's the thing. And you look at the velocity when he struck out Suzuki early on in Tokyo, he was near triple digits. So it's going to happen. Just wait. that's why I'm stressing once again that this is going to take a little time to get to where you want him to get to, and that is being that frontline ace-level guy is going to compete for Cy Young. Some more comments down below. Looking for that comment of the show. We've got Shohei has a postpartum slump. If he does, then he's absolutely out of it after tonight for sure. We've got Christian Larson would hold Ohtani on pitching, need his bat only for now. Yeah, but hey, I think that pitching is going to be a necessity. We don't know. I mean, they've said they dodged a bullet on Blake Snell. The new MRIs showed there was nothing that has made it worse or exacerbated his injury situation, but shoulders can be tricky. They're going to probably hold him out for extensive time. And look, last year you would have expected the Dodgers to have Tyler Glasnow healthy, and then he goes down. So I think that you want to make sure that he's ready to pitch in the event that you need another ace-level starter, because that's what he is when he's ready. So I don't think that him not pitching is a possibility. I think that you have to make sure he's ready because, one, he's really good when he's on the mound, and you can use him in a situation where, hey, imagine Ohtani being Walker Buehler last year in Game 5, right? You would feel awesome about that. Look what Mike Trout had to go with, right? I mean, just think about that. So, yeah, I mean, you look at like those situations right there, and that's why you want to make sure that he is ready to go. So I hear a lot of people saying this, but yeah, I just don't think that that's an option for him. But see, a lot of you guys talk about Andy Pages. Do we need to fill out the apology forms? Last 25 at-bats. His last 7 games, 11 hits, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs, hitting .440, slugging .800. So that's impressive stuff by Andy Pages. And like I said, this is someone who he's not the perfect defender. He really is not the perfect defender for sure. But the fact that he can make big plays like he did tonight, he has that potential, and that's certainly something that's in there deep inside. So, yeah, you just got to develop it for sure. But, yeah, I mean, how about you got to give credit to this Dodger team, man. I mean, they got out of that slump. I think player of the game, you got to go with Teoscar Hernandez. Like I said, even though Shohei had a big night at the plate, the young pitchers tonight, Roki and Jack Dreyer came through. The veterans came through tonight, and Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott. So, yeah, the Dodgers, they get the dub. Andy Pages, I mean, hitting over 600 last 4 games. I can't say enough. But the Dodgers, they get the win. Kirby Yates is the winning pitcher. He goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And then tomorrow, the Dodgers will wrap the series up with the Pirates. You got Tyler Glasnow on the bump going against lefty Bailey Falter for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But a couple more guys, get some walk-off shots from you, and then we'll let you enjoy the last couple hours of your Saturday night. And we got big plans tonight. What are you guys doing after this? We got Mr. Seeds is still awesome. Thank you, D-Mac. Pages trash. Pablo clearly is still not a believer in Andy Pages. We've got can't be having Mookie at shortstop, helping the team but hurting the team. Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, we still have to see what he can do. We still have to see what he can do offensively while playing really good shortstop, because he's been a really, really good shortstop. But that, did I not say that on the show for a long time? That was one thing I was going to be monitoring, is will his shortstop defensive effort, will that impact him at the plate? And so far, we don't know if that's true, but a lot of his StatCast metrics have been down. But, yeah, a couple more guys. We've got Who's Your Kike? That's from Jeremy Buckley. We've got Ray Soto win tomorrow, and maybe the Dodgers will be back to ruining baseball. I'm going to get out my comment of the show. Are we back to ruining baseball again?
You win. Perfect.
This chat would never end if everyone needed to apologize. Hey, I like that in the comment of the show. It's another, I'm going to give that a nice little fire take.
Fire take.
I still believe in Muncie. Jose Aguirre, WDGAF. But, yep, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button on your way out for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Would really, really appreciate that. Also, subscribe to the Discord channel and my newest show. It's called The Big Lead. It's the hottest leading stories in sports in less than an hour. But that's going to do it, guys. See you tomorrow. And remember that nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack.